We invite everyone to think about their responsibilities to the land and the water, and to honor the peoples who have been living here for thousands of years.
Gananoque citizens and guests, my lords, my ladies, lend me thy ear. I proclaim on this August 11th, 2024, to be the 100th anniversary of the Gananoque Horticultural Society in the beautiful Thousand Islands on the bank of the upper St. Lawrence River. I do have a land acknowledgement which I always put in for the town, as we share and respect the traditional unceded land of the Haudenosaunee, Haudenosaunee First Peoples. The Historical Society formed in 1920 with 27 members. The first president was a dentist, A.H. Baby, my great uncle. There were several hundred members with many plots around town. Our celebration today is on the land that was owned by William Stone MacDonald, a descendant of Joel Stone. He celebrated his 275th birthday this week. He looked very good too, our reenactment. William asked the society to take over the caring of the park in 1823. It has become a gem of our community. William passed away only 1 month after the offer, and Louise D. MacDonald, his widow, started selling off all the MacDonald properties in town. The Blake body was sold to Rebecca Edwards, who turned it into a high-class hotel with extensive gardens. Louis D. MacDonald offered the land that became the park to the society for $1. And the deeds for the two lots, 608 and 610, were given to the society on January 22nd, 1924. I imagine the snow was higher that year than it is now, with global warming. I have to prompt you once in a while. A.H. Baby's real estate salesman, Andrew Edwards, and postmaster Joseph Green signed the deed on behalf of the society. The first store in town, operated by Charles and John MacDonald, had been located on the land in the early 19th century. We believe that it was in the northwest corner of this property. The park has evolved a great deal over the years. There were extensive gardens in the 1930s and 40s, maintained by Leeds Motors, which is located just east of the park. After Leeds Motors closed in 1952, the park was primarily a green space with small gardens and a number of trees. The society has made many changes and added new gardens starting in the 2000s. The park is maintained entirely by the volunteers except for grass cutting. A round of applause for the members of the Gananoque Horticulture Society and organizers. As a town crier for Gananoque and councillor in Leeds of the Thousand Islands, it is with great pleasure to be here and help celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Gananoque Horticulture Society that has beautified not only parks but our lives. May they always be an advocate for the beautiful community. Here is this proclamation. Long live the Gananoque Horticulture Society. Long live the King! Let me get a program now. I now call on Society President Penny Stewart to come forward.
Thank you very much, Brian. That was a lovely opening. As the president of the Gananoque Horticultural Society, I welcome one and all to the Society's 100th anniversary of this park. Thank you to all those who keep the vision of a beautiful community green space alive and thriving. Without all the volunteer work of our members, it would not be possible to keep this gem of a park as the beautiful and peaceful oasis it is. I am sure the Society Board of Directors and the members of 1924 would be delighted with what we see around us today. Thank you for coming and helping us celebrate this very important 100-year milestone.
I now call on His Worship, Mayor John Beddows, to bring greetings from the town.
Thank you. As I usually do with my speeches, I start with the words thank you. We're here to celebrate a century. We're here to celebrate a century of people who received a gift in trust and used that gift to create beauty for anyone who passes by. A place of rest and solace, a place to enjoy the sun or the shade, to watch the bees, to take a moment in the day and to listen to the wind and not my voice, as you can today, where traffic is quieter and where there's a moment to just remember that some things are constant. Nature, beauty, enjoyment. The men and women of the Gananoque Horticultural Society come together to share a love of beauty and a love of growing things, and a love of creating beauty through growing things, not just in their private spaces, but as a gift to the people around them and as a gift to the town itself. I sometimes sit here and read a book, and I have that pleasure, that joy, and that privilege because of a century of effort. Whether through a green space where there is so little, or the continuation of a public garden in a place where there used to be more gardens, is irrelevant. I offer you my compliments and my thanks. I wish you another century. And I can tell you that when someone I meet has newly moved to town, I point them at the Horticultural Society, because you can tell them how to grow things and make their home as beautiful as they want it to be, not just outside, but pots inside. The petunia is the floral symbol of Gananoque. It is this beautiful, delicate flower that grows best in difficult conditions. The endurance of the Horticultural Society through the Depression, through wars, through growth and shrinkage and growth again, is testament to the fact that nature will find a way. And so will you. I offer you my compliments and my thanks. I'm not here because I'm the mayor. I'm here because you're important. And I recognize it on behalf of the town. So my compliments, my thanks on the century. And I believe it's 104 years for the society itself, but 100 years of trust and the fulfillment of that trust. So my compliments. Not many people can say that, organizations can say that for a century. And I wish I was going to be here 100 years from now to sit down on a bench in this space and see that people haven't changed, that it's still beautiful, there are still bees, the peonies are here, and there are petunias. Thank you so much, and my congratulations.
I'd like to call on Joe McKinnon, one of the Society's members, to say a few words.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Beddows very much for his kind words about our park. This is a place of pride for all of us in the park, and we thank all of our volunteers who do so much work here. Now, I should point out, I am in 1924. Even in 1924, I carried my clippers in my reticule. It's an important detail. I'll put them back in for now. The town crier has mentioned many of the details of the history of the park, which is wonderful. It has changed many times over the years. We have some displays here which feature photographs from the 1920s, around 1950, and then we have a big gap until just around 2000. And then after that, we start having more photographs. If there's anybody out there who says, oh, I think I have pictures of the park during that time period, please let us know. We would love to add them to our collection. A story I would like to tell you is about the peonies. Right now, we have quite a few peonies in the park, but a few years ago, I was doing research for the history of the park for our 100th anniversary, and I discovered there used to be peonies on either side of the memorial stone. But in 1966, the executive decided to move the stone. They moved it about probably 4 or 5 meters to the north to center it in the park, and they got rid of the peonies. These were peonies that had been given after the Prince of Wales' visit in 1927. I think they forgot. So I said to myself, there's got to be some of these around, because peonies don't die. I mean, unless you mow them under, which sometimes people do, they live for over 100 years. So who had been involved in the society in 1966 who was still around? Metcha Maybe, who was the granddaughter-in-law of the first president of the society. I phoned up Metcha. She said, oh, I have a piece. I have several pieces. Would you like to have some? I said, of course I would. So we got some, and I got 2 pieces. I call them the heir and the spare. The heir bloomed this year for the first time. The spare hasn't bloomed yet. It was a smaller piece. We have a plaque for the heir, and so this is part of our history that has been returned to us close to 100 years after it was first planted here. The park has changed many times, and you'll notice the pollinator garden. We have a picture of what it looked like when we first created it, and when the spruce tree that was there came down. We have pictures of that. The long daylily garden, which was absolutely stunning a couple of weeks ago. Of course, now it's almost over, but it is beautiful in the spring with daffodils, and now with all of the daylilies. The upper garden was only created in 2010, after we got that piece of land back. So every year it evolves. We're always changing. We just had a work party last year and planted about 30 more daylilies that were given to us by a daylily specialist who lives up in Maitland. We had a whole work crew out here, did a ton of work, and so we're always changing, revising, looking around, going, I think it would look better like this. So as I say, maybe in 100 years it will be a completely different place, but right now I know that it brings happiness to a lot of people. Okay, I would like to introduce Robin Abelson, who is a drama teacher and theater teacher over at GHS. She has put together a short play about the beginnings of the park. And of course, we don't know what everybody said exactly, so we have to make some imaginary dialogue, but it's pretty much what happened to the best of our ability. So I'm going to turn it over to Robin.
It is easy to look around Gananoque and see this beautiful park and garden, but it wasn't always here. We're going to take a journey back in time and see how the Horticultural Society Park came to be. Now, some of you may know the town founding families, but let's do a quick overview. Don't worry, I know I'm a teacher, but there won't be a quiz. One of the main founding families was the MacDonald family. Okay, we can go into all of the fine details, but let's just say they owned a lot of property. They gave money for the building of St. Andrew's Church. Our town hall is one of the original family homes, as well as the well-known Blinkbonny. The family owned Maplecroft Farms on the east side of Gananoque, which featured an unusual circular barn. They also owned lots 608 and 610 at the corner of Mill and Main Streets, where the family's original store had been built, and where the first post office in town was also located. It is here we pick up our story. Let us meet William Stone MacDonald of the MacDonald clan and Andrew Edwards, who'd been a cabinet maker and business manager in Gan and several other towns. The year is 1923.
Andrew, my friend, you are in the new Horticultural Society, are you not?
Good day to you, William. Yes, I am in society. What is your interest?
Well, I have 2 empty lots near the mills. It's a highly industrial area, but our home, the Blink Bonnie, is just over there. It might be nice to plant some gardens in my lots.
The society is always looking for new places to plant gardens. Though I'm surprised you're not thinking of adding more gardens to your gracious home.
Well, our gardens at Blink Bonnie are doing splendidly. I just feel we should provide some additional beauty in this very industrial area. The corset factory right behind our lots is unattractive. And of course, there's the rivet factory nearby. Well, an industrial area with not a lot of architectural beauty could really use some sprucing up.
Fair enough. Let me see what I can accomplish with the Horticultural Society.
Many thanks.
Okay, we will need plants and volunteers. Of course, maybe I should put an article in the newspaper, but I will need a catchy title. I've got it. Pleasing Planting Party. No, that's not it. Symposium to Spruce Up Space. No, that's not it either. Lilacs for Luscious Lots. Oh, that's a little too suggestive. I've got it. Botanical Eve to Beautify Block. Oh, I do love a good alliteration. Citizens of Gananoque, give us your roots, your plants, your shrubs, any plants you can spare. Let us make this a beautiful garden for everyone to enjoy.
Andrew Edwards organized work parties and donations to plant in the lots. Unfortunately, William MacDonald would never see the fruits of his labors, as he died of a stroke in May of 1923. Due to his not having a will, this left his wife, Louise, in a bit of a bind, and she was forced to sell their properties.
Oh, my dearest William, he has died, and he hasn't left a will. Oh, thank you, darling. Excuse me. And he has not left a will. Forced to sell our beautiful homes. I'm absolutely devastated. I just wish I could leave our precious Blink Bonnie, our summer home, to someone we know and trust. I know. I shall write a letter to Andrew Edwards. He is a real estate broker. He may have some thoughts on this.
Andrew did have some thoughts and started an interesting business proposition.
Dear Louise, I am sorry to hear about your dear William's passing. Words cannot express my sympathies and cannot fathom your sorrow. My deepest condolences. You asked about how to manage the issue of Blink Bonnie, your summer home. I may have an interesting idea. My sister Rebecca is looking to open a hotel. She has done some traveling to look at how other hotels are run and is currently running a small hotel in Gananoque. And as you are aware, in the summer months, Gananoque has a very important tourist industry. And the Blink Bonnie is in a good location for this venture. I'll have my sister contact you if you wish to inquire into this idea further. Deepest regards, Andrew.
My dearest Andrew, thank you for your condolences. It has been difficult to fathom the loss of my beloved William. But also, of course, handling the legal issues that have arisen with his passing. Your suggestion of your sister running a hotel is interesting. Do have her write me and we will ponder this idea further. Warmest regards, Louise.
Dear Louise, my brother Andrew shared your address so that I may write to you about purchasing Blink Bonnie from your husband's estate. It is a beautiful home in a lovely location. This will increase with the opening of the new gardens for which your husband donated land. My plan would be to turn it into a small, high-class hotel with only 10 rooms. I am currently already running a smaller tourist hotel, and this would be a great addition to my business. I do hope you will accept my offer. Sincerely, Rebecca Edwards.
Louise MacDonald would accept Rebecca's offer, and the Blink Bonnie became a high-class boutique hotel. Rebecca was also a member of the Horticultural Society and made sure to expand the gardens around Blink Bonnie. Louise MacDonald also turned over the 2 lots where William wanted gardens to the Horticultural Society to be given, officially on January 22nd, 1924, for the sum of $1, which would be about $17.59 today. The Horticultural Society then had 2 big decisions to make. How would the society run the park, and whether to put up a memorial stone. The 3 trustees who had signed the indenture discussed these issues. We have Andrew Edwards, Postmaster Josephus Green, and school principal J.C. Linklater.
I think the control of the park should remain in the hands of the Horticultural Society. To give up control means that we cannot guarantee its future in years to come.
But I am very concerned about the expense of taking care of the park. Even though I agreed to sign the indenture, we will have to plant many flowering plants every year, pay for the grass to be cut, and water all the gardens. We don't even have a water source. How are we going to manage this? Are we going to have to pay someone to haul in water? We need to think about not taking on debt that we cannot handle. What say you, Andrew?
I agree with Mr. Green. We should be able to manage to keep control of the park. Our society is large. It already has about 400 members. Surely we can find enough volunteers to keep the park going. After all, members receive significant premiums for their $1 membership. Some might be willing to donate the bulbs and the shrubs that they received as that premium.
But remember, we also need to put up a memorial stone, which would be very expensive. The society will be putting up the cost.
I'm sure our members will help cover it. It is more important to have this be our society's legacy.
The decision was made. The park would remain in control of the Horticultural Society. There was a period when Leaf Motors took on responsibility for caring for the park, but it has always been under the control of the society. The decision to put up the memorial stone was also approved. It was expensive, and it was the reason that the society was in the red in 1924, the only year that it has been.
I told you so. Here we are in debt. I do not approve.
And so the memorial stone was erected. Isabella MacDonald, aunt of the deceased William MacDonald, unveiled the memorial on August 7th, 1924, as part of Old Home Week.
Thank you, everyone, for this lovely, lovely tribute to my nephew and to our family. It is wonderful to see William's dream come to fruition, and that these lots are now a place of beauty for all of Gananoque to enjoy.
And that is exactly what happened 100 years ago. Okay, we don't know the exact conversations, discussions, and debates, so we may have taken a few liberties there.
But the people were real.
Andrew Edwards, Josephus Green, J.C. Linklater, and William MacDonald.
These men were fundamental in the purchase and creation of the park.
And of course, we shall not forget the women, Mrs. Louise MacDonald, who sold these men the lots, or the savvy businesswoman Rebecca Edwards, who created these lovely gardens and kept my beloved Blink Bonnie alive.
This town is steeped in history. Every building, every street, and even our parks.
We hope that you will take time to enjoy the park today and think about how it got its start 100 years ago. Thank you.
I would like to thank the crew, and I hope you all enjoyed the play as much as I did. Robin did a masterful job getting them corralled and finding costumes. and getting the history as correct as we know it is. Anyway, I have a little token for each of you. Where you, I'm probably going to drop something here.
For the record, many of us already had costumes in our closets.
Diane Hall designed these thank you notes just for this event, and they are gorgeous. Thank you, Diane. And now I'm going to ask our town crier to make another introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call on our poet laureate of Gananoque, Gretchen Huntley, to give us a poem in which she does so grand all the time, and we are pleased to have her always with us for these events. Gretchen.
Thank you very much. 100 years ago, the Horticultural Society was given a wonderful gift, a little piece of heaven to give everyone a lift. A park was donated on the corner of Mill and Main, where a garden could be created to flourish in sunshine and in rain. Thanks to Louise McDonald for her generosity, and now 100 years later, it is a sight to see. Because the Horticultural Society, with tender loving care, created a one-of-a-kind haven for all of us to share. Everyone is welcome just to sit on the bench for a while, immerse themselves in this precious gift, then hopefully walk away with a smile. Some may come with a heavy heart, feeling sad and blue, but the warmth of the sun and the smell of the earth whispers gently, I love you. Nothing can compare to nature at its best, and this little park passes every single test. The flowers are alive, the trees bend to welcome you, the grass caresses your feet, the sun comes peeping through. This little park is such a gift, one that is meant for you and me, and to make it even better, it is absolutely free. Today seems like the perfect day to thank the Horticultural Society for creating this beautiful space in our town of Gananoque. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank Gretchen very much for her lovely little poem about our park, which we will publish in our 2025 yearbook. And Gretchen, I would like to give you a little floral.
Gretchen, get over with her so I can get your picture. I want to see that floral tribute handed over.
The flowers came from Penny Stewart's garden, and she created them.
That's why they're beautiful. You know that. Perfect. Thank you, ladies.
But they're also the sorts of things that grow in our park here. So, thank you so much. I would now like to ask J.C. Kenny to come forward, and her daughters too, if they would like it. It's up to them. We are going to unveil a plaque that has been installed beside the campfire rose on the far side of the central garden. We planted the rose in remembrance of JC's mother and the girl's grandmother in 2022. Lucille was a longtime member of the Horticultural Society. She was a former president and a very keen rose grower. Not only that, she was a wonderfully warm person who often welcomed me into their home. The Campfire Rose is one of the Canadian Artist series of very hardy Canadian roses, named for a painting by Tom Thompson. Typically, it's in bloom virtually all summer, but this year, it's decided to take a break from blooming right now. So, I have a picture of it, which I'll pass around once we go down. It is a stunning rose because it starts out yellow and basically turns red as time goes along. So it's really, it's a good rose. You don't have to protect it in the winter, which is even better. And I also have a picture of Lucille receiving a trophy for the best rose in show back in 2018. And I'll pass that around too. We miss Lucille, and I know that JC has a few words to say about her as well.
Hi everyone, my name is JC and this is my daughter Emma and Samantha. Actually the other way around. Samantha, and I'm a great way to start. I also wanted to just point out that for anybody here who could be mildly confused, my mother is not a descendant of the MacDonald, Louise MacDonald. I think that should be said. That's M-A-C, yeah, my father who is here, Christopher MacDonald, it's M-C capital D. Joan's right. My mom, Lucille, she was really a force of nature and a wonderful sister. My Uncle Chuck is here, her brother, one of her brothers. She was an absolutely loving and devoted wife and an amazing grandma to my girls, and just a really wonderful person, a fantastic mother. Very devoted, very loving mother, and we miss her every day. But we're so excited about this. We're so grateful to Joan. We've sort of been back and forth for about a year, trying to figure out what the best way is to honor my mom, honor Lucille, and Joan came up with this amazing idea of a plaque, because my father had been involved in the planting of the campfire rose, and there was an event here. So we're really just so grateful to Joan, grateful to the Gananoque Horticultural Society for being able to do this, for being willing to do it. And I think Joan is going to unveil the plaque momentarily. And I also just wanted to say thank you to everybody. A lot of you were at the garden tour, which my dad ambitiously took part in, and all of you who took part in the garden tour a few weeks ago. Many of you mentioned, and many who came mentioned my mom and how much they'd learned from her or how much she had learned from them, because her rose garden, and anytime you want to come and see it, I'll just invite you on behalf of my dad, I guess. He doesn't know I was going to say that, but her roses are just so incredible, and my dad is, Christopher is continuing that, and it is her legacy, and as is the Gananoque Horticultural Society. So grateful to everybody, and thank you so much, Joan, for making this happen. Thank you, girls.
We're going to walk down and around the center garden and unveil it together. So I will come back here.
Have everybody come back to their seats, please, so we can continue our program. There's a little bit more to be seen, heard, and have fun with. So please come on back for your chair and find your chair that you were in. Thank you.
Thank you. That's why we have a town crier here. So now we are going to enjoy some 1920s music, courtesy of a society member, Karen Leslie Hall. I'm sorry. She moved to Gananoque just a few years ago, and she and her sister, Diane, are both active members of the society. And so I am really looking forward to hearing some music from the 1920s.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear my guitar? So, I was asked to learn some songs from the 1920s. Imagine, 100-year-old songs. Imagine writing songs people would recognize 100 years later. So I managed to find a few that were familiar, and I discovered they're all really short. So I put them together. I put a few of them together for you in a little medley. And I hope you will recognize these songs too. I'm sure you will. And starting with one I thought was particularly apt for this beautiful setting. Tiptoe to the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of the willow tree. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Knee deep in flowers we'll stray. We'll keep the showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me and tiptoe through the tulips with me? Knee deep in flowers we'll stray. We'll keep the showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me and tiptoe through the tulips with me? It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true, make me feel blue, and even feel glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen could always be mean, could never be cross, just to be boss, that wouldn't do. Nobody else gives me the thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Blue sky birds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things looking so bright. Noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. So bright, never saw things looking so right. Noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies place from now on. Pack up all my cares and woe. Sorry, that was wrong. Pack up all my cares and woe. Here I go singing low. Bye bye blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is he. Bye bye blackbird. No one here can love or understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the light. I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, bye bye. Can you sing along? Pack up all my cares and woe. Here I go singing low. Bye bye blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is he. Bye bye blackbird. No one here can love or understand me. Those hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the light. I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, bye bye. Blackbird, bye bye. No one to talk with all by myself. No one to walk with. I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I know for certain the one that I love. I'm through with flirting, it's just you that I am thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Oh, Jack Horner in a corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't go out late, I don't get to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Oh, Jack Horner in a corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't go out late, I don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love. Well, I ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me and tiptoe through the tulips with me?
Thank you very much, Karen. That was great. A real nice medley of 1920s music. A little thank you card for you. This is the end of our formal events. I have lots of thank yous. I'd like to thank Rob Yankee, who has brought this wonderful 1939 Cadillac, so people can take a look at that. I'd like to thank everybody who helped put this together. But there's a lot of work to putting together a party. We're going to be listening to some more 1920s music, which Lucy Morin has put on her phone and which we will broadcast. We have some refreshments for everyone. We have some mini cupcakes, lemonade, and ice cream. So we'd love for everybody to come up and come around this way if you can. You'll notice that I come this way, but that's because I do it like every day. So we'd rather that you come this way and there's no possibility of people falling over things and getting hurt. This is an old park. We have roots that are, sticking out. We have stones that are sticking out. So just be careful and come up and enjoy all of these lovely cupcakes and goodies that we've got for you. Oh, I know what I was going to mention. Two more things. This flower cart over here, which I had actually never seen before in person. I'd seen pictures of it. It was created in the 1990s by Hugh de Crier, who built it so that we could have ads for our flower shows. We still have flower shows. Our next one is in September, and it will be at St. Andrew's Church. They used to put this outside St. Andrew's Church to advertise the shows. Now, I see that Metcha Maybe's here. I mentioned Metcha because she has given us back peony roots for the park, and we are so appreciative of having the peonies back. Lovely to see you, Metcha. We have other members of the society who've been members for many years. We have a number of presidents here. Anyway, come and enjoy. It's lovely to see you all. Thank you.